Wizards of the Coast has revealed information about the changes to the Wizard class in the upcoming 2024 Player's Handbook, and in this video, we'll go over what they've shared. We'll start with the changed class features. The number of spells you know used to be your intelligence modifier plus your wizard level, but now it's a fixed number based on your level. Now this next part confused me a little bit because it doesn't seem like a change in anything much other than minor wording, but WotC's preview says that the Ritual Caster feature has been removed and instead, spells with a ritual tag must be prepared in order to be cast. With Ritual Caster, these spells did not have to be prepared. However, there's a new feature called Ritual Adept, which does allow you to cast an unprepared spell with the ritual tag from your spellbook, and you get Ritual Adept at level 1, so it sounds like a strange and indirect way of saying that the feature was just renamed. The only difference in wording I could see is that the 2024 Ritual Adept feature says you must read the spell from your spellbook, and I guess this means aloud, but I don't know if this matters very much. The Spell Mastery feature arrives at level 18 and allows you to choose one first and one second level spell and cast these spells at their lowest levels without using a spell slot. In the existing rules, you can exchange these spells for others after 8 hours of study. In the new rules, the spells you choose must have a casting time of 1 action, and you can only exchange one of them, not both, but they're always prepared, and you can exchange one after a long rest. Now let's talk about the new features. There are changes to how spellbooks work, namely that now your spellbook can also be used as your arcane focus, and it cannot be read by others unless they cast Identify. At level 2, you get the Scholar feature, which grants you expertise in one skill in which you are already proficient, which you choose from this list: Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, or Religion. Cantrip formulas come at level 3, and they allow you to swap out a cantrip you know with any wizard cantrip after you finish a long rest. At level 5, you get Memorize Spell, which allows you to swap out a prepared spell for another one in your spellbook after a short rest. And finally, like the other 2024 classes, wizards get epic boon feats at level 19. An example is the boon of Spell Recall, which increases your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1, and when you cast a 1 through 4 level spell using a spell slot, you can roll a d4, and if you roll that spell's level, the slot is not expended. Now let's talk about subclasses. Formerly, these were known as Arcane Traditions, and they were based on schools of magic. Now they're straight-ahead subclasses, and in the new rules, all classes get their subclasses at level 3. For the 2024 Wizard class, the Savant feature no longer reduces cost and time of copying new spells. Instead, it grants access to 2 free level 1 or 2 spells of your school. You can also add a new spell from your school to your spellbook every time you get a new level of spell slots from leveling up. The preview wizards put out only lists 4 subclasses tied to 4 different schools of magic, rather than the existing rules, which include all 8. Also missing are the other 2 2014 Arcane Traditions, Blade Singing, and the Order of Scribes, although the preview doesn't explicitly say any of these have been removed in 2024, so it isn't clear to me exactly what's up there, but we can go over the 4 school-based subclasses that they do preview. These are Abjurer, Diviner, Evoker, and Illusionist. The Abjurer wizard gets a feature called Arcane Ward. If you have this feature, when you cast a leveled abjuration spell, you create a magical ward that takes damage instead of you whenever you would take damage. The ward lasts until your next long rest, and if it gets to HP 0, then whenever you cast an abjuration spell after that, it regains hit points equal to twice the spell's level. The preview says that in the new rules, you can also use a bonus action to refill the ward, and I assume this means take it back to its original max HP, but the preview doesn't elaborate on what refill means, so we'll have to wait for the book to come out to know for sure. Abjurers also get a new feature called Spellbreaker at level 10. It gives you Counterspell and Dispel Magic is always prepared, and allows you to cast Dispel Magic as a bonus action. Diviners get a feature at level 10 called Third Eye. This allows you to use an action to receive heightened senses in one of 4 ways. If you choose Dark Vision, it does what it sounds like. In the current rules, though, the range is 60 feet, while in the new rules, it's 120. Another choice was Ethereal Sight, which lets you see into the ethereal plane, but in the new rules, this is removed. Greater Comprehension enables you to read any language, and this hasn't been changed at all in the new rules. And finally, See Invisibility in the old rules enabled you to see invisible creatures and objects up to 10 feet away, while in the new rules, it simply grants you the ability to cast the See Invisibility spell without expending a spell slot. And notably, this spell allows you to see invisibility, but also see into the ethereal plane, which explains why Ethereal Sight was removed from the Third Eye feature. This spell also doesn't have any stated range limit. For the Evoker class, Wizards tells us that Sculpt spells and Potent Cantrip have switched places, which seems to mean that the levels at which you get these features have been swapped. So I'll present it that way for now, but we'll know more when the new PHB is released. So if I'm right, that means that Potent Cantrip now comes at level 2 rather than level 6. And with its feature, your cantrips do half damage if your target succeeds on a saving throw against them. And in the new rules, they also do half damage on a missed spell attack. In the existing rules, the Illusionist has a feature called Improved Minor Illusion, which comes at level 2 and grants you the Minor Illusion spell, allowing you to create both sound and an image with a single casting as well. In the new rules, this has been replaced by a feature called Improved Illusion. This allows you to ignore verbal components for illusion spells, and it increases range for certain spells, although WotC doesn't tell us which spells those are just yet. Another new feature for Illusionists is Phantasmal Creatures. This comes at level 6 and allows you to have Summon Beast and Summon Fae as always prepared. These can be cast as illusion spells, and they summon modified versions of these creatures. It also allows a free casting of each spell once per long rest. And finally, Illusionists have a feature called Illusory Self. This allows you to create an illusion of yourself as a decoy, and when you would take damage from an attack, you can instead interpose the decoy, who then disappears. In the new rules, you can restore the Illusory Self by expending a spell slot, and this doesn't take any kind of action. And that's everything we know so far about changes to the Wizard class in the upcoming 2024 Player's Handbook. If you enjoyed this video, it's part of a series we're doing about the 2024 PHB reveals, so check out our other videos on this topic. I'm Dave, and thanks for watching.